Hi, I'm Joy Elaine, author of the Joy Chronicles, and here are some tastes of Book 2, The Blossoming of Love. The transmissions in this book are initially sent out from a council building on the 10th dimension of Earth's moon. Liponie constructed it using quartz crystals secretly mined from Earth by Commander Ashtar. If you picture a wheel shape with a center hub, which contained our version of the round table, you'll have an idea of what the building is like. Over a period of time, Liponie expanded the building so that we could fit in over 94 million people that joined us. That number included a representative from all the indigenous peoples of Earth. Although the seating at the main table rotated, usually you would find myself, Tonas, Isis, Osiris, Jesus, Magdalene, Liponie, Commander Ashtar, Thoth, King Arthur, Guinevere, 18 of their knights, including Lancelot and Galahad, former presidents John Kennedy and Lincoln, Thor, Cleopatra, Caesar, Mark Antony, Marilyn Monroe, and many Native Americans sitting around the table. Later in this book, another Joy Council is created in the center of the earth. I hope you will enjoy energetically traveling to either or both of these locations to lend your support to the transmissions we send out. Remember, your participation in the Council's work is vital in assisting Earth and humanity's evolution. In this book and each succeeding book, you are offered gifts from your future perfected energy self, which exists approximately 350 years in the future, in a place called the Fifth Realm. That term is explained in the glossary. In the front of the book, you will find an explanation about how to receive those gifts. I learned quite a bit about fairies in this book, and early on, during a conversation with the fairy Shalaya, she mentioned that 4 fairies were stolen from her garden. Since fairies never leave their garden on their own, that meant they were dead. I didn't tell her that, of course, because I intended to fix that situation. In Path of Sweetness, Shalaya told me that as things are destroyed in your world, we take them into ours. In other words, all the animals, trees, and plants that humans kill, cut down, or harvest are taken into the fairy gardens. They live there until they would have died naturally, and then they, at least in the case of cows, lie down and turn into sparkles. I'm not sure which book this information is in, but I wanted you to know it now. Shalaya is willing to give me the formula by which the fairies are able to accomplish this remarkable feat, and I make it into a template. The invitation that I'm now offering you is not written in this book, but since you are an inhabitant of Earth, I now invite you to join me in the following declaration. You can just silently follow my words as you make them your own. I choose Earth as my realm, and that none shall have the power or privilege to spirit away any of the fairies. I'm choosing in this moment to take the formula Shalaya gave me and enact it to be real from the beginning of Gia's first thinking the fairies into formation on Earth. I'm choosing that this new paradigm shall be held as real for the full experience of Gia as a planet. I'm also choosing that our world will always support the sovereignty of the fairy kingdoms here on Earth. Thank you for joining me in that declaration. Later, I learned from Gia that many things had been stolen from Earth by beings from other worlds. Of course, humans also did our share of destroying species. For example, we destroyed all the dragons not once, but twice. In a take back what belongs to Earth mode, I used the fairies formula to bring everything and every species that belongs here back to Earth. Gia didn't tell me everything that was returned, but she did mention that we got all the dragons back, as well as some elves, dwarfs, and crystals that were stolen. Also, satyrs, centaurs, and herds of horses like Pegasus were returned. In case you're wondering where they are, she located them in dimensions slightly off from the ones where humans exist. Since there's no sense in having them eradicated again, they won't be interacting with us until we reach the 8th dimension. In Book 1, Gia told me that there were only female fairies, no males. In this book, I bring up the possibility to her of having boy fairies, and she's agreeable to that idea. She suggested I speak with Shalia to see if she would be interested in having a boy fairy for a playmate. At first, Shalia had difficulty understanding the possibility of having a boy fairy companion, since there never had been any boys. After I assured her that he wouldn't be mean, and that he would like to climb trees, she decided she'd like to have one. I checked in with Gia, who witnessed our interaction. She created one boy fairy, and I returned to Shalia's garden. Here's the conversation I had with Shalia. He says he doesn't have a name, Joy. He's very cute, and he's very cute. I want to play with him very much, and he said he will play with me. I suggest that maybe he will be able to think of a name later, but she says, I think I could call him Rosebud. He would love that, I think. Okay, well, ask him. He likes it very much. He told me he likes it very much. All right. What I'm going to do is leave you to play, and then maybe the other fairies will think about if they want to have a boy fairy too. Oh, I don't want to show everybody. They might want to play with him, and then I love everybody, but this is my very own boy fairy, Joy. I will share him later. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to share right away. You can just play together. Rosebud, the first boy fairy ever, speaks up and tells me, Thank you very much, fairy. You're my fairy. You may call me Rosebud. Giggling, he tells me, We're going to play now. All right, bye-bye. In the distance, I hear him say, Bye-bye. Here are just a few details about the many other happenings in this book. The CEV, Council for Earth Vigilance, requested bodies so that all of them could sit at the Joy Council table. This presented a design challenge for Liponie since they didn't wish to appear human, nor did they want to have a gender. Liponie created 94 3-foot-tall liquid crystalline swizzle sticks. Only one had a mouth. That one had an orange body with lime green hair and told us that they felt much more trendy with the name Swizzlers. In a meeting with Wunfred, the Dragon King, he said he was one of the biggest dragons and described himself as being 5 elephants tall and weighing 40 tons. Wunfred also told me that dragons never desired to conquer or fight humanity. They desired to live in camaraderie with us. I became an ordained minister of SVH, Serene Vibration Healing, so that I would legally be able to conduct the wedding ceremony that takes place at the end of this book. I can't imagine that there will ever be another to equal it. Remember, we have a genie at the council. I will tell you that the bride and groom left the ceremony riding in a Viking wedding boat that was a replica of the one that Thor and Sif, his partner, had. The boat was pulled by 6 golden winged horses that flew off into the sky on a sparkling rainbow road created by Liponie. The tin cans tinkling behind it were a nice touch. I look forward to your presence at the Joy Council tables. There's a seat reserved exclusively for you at both of them. Namaste.